Peace and blessings. This is Nubia, I, the Raw Food Goddess, the Womb Priestess and the Holistic Practitioner of the Blackberry Beauty Holistic Academy, Ancient African Healing and Wisdom for the Modern Sister. Welcome, my intensive. It's all about the womb, part 3, holy and sacred relationships. And today is our third instructional video for our series. And this one is going to be entitled Time for the Womb Plan, or Creating a Womb Plan. Creating a womb plan. You know, when I first do the write up the course descriptions, and you know, week 1 and what week 2 and what week 3 and what week 4 is going to be, like I write them, it's definitely spirit writing them through me, and then I forget about them each week. So then I go back to the course description and I say, oh, what you know, is the instructional video going to be about this week? And so when I looked at the instructional video and I saw it's time for a womb plan, it is in that particular instructional video, this one right now, this week is exactly where I am already. But it always happens like that. Before I even know what the week is going to be in the intensive, what it's going to entail, my life is already reflecting what that week is. So a couple of things. My daughter, her dad picked her up, and so she's going to be coming in. And I'm not going to stop the video because I'm going to be on the road. This may be a long video. Also, it is about to rain. So we're going to, it's actually the perfect day. It's cool, but not too cold. It's going to rain, and it's just a sweet day. You know, it's just one of those womb type of days, okay? So today I took a really long sea salt bath. And I don't know, Spirit's been telling me for the last 2 days to cover my head, to wrap my head, to take womb baths, and to really go within, to watch my words, to take a talk fast. So I haven't been on my YouTube channel in a week, at least a week, if not longer. And so it feels very almost odd to be making this video because I haven't really talked to anyone unless I'm communicating in the group. Actually, that's who I've been talking to, is when I write or respond to questions or comments in the group. That's the most so-called communicating that I've been doing. And it's really been a blessing. So if I feel like I'm stumbling maybe over words, it's just because I haven't really been speaking. I've been going more within. And so that kind of brings me to this womb plan that we're going to create this week. And so what is a womb plan? A womb plan is almost like a goal plan, right? It's like setting a goal or many goals. And it's the goal that you want for yourself. So think about it this way. You set the goal as a reward. You set the goal as a reward. So after you do all your womb work, after you stick to your plan, then this is the reward that you would like to receive from it. So let me give you an examples of the reward first. So yes, let's talk about the good. Let's talk about what we want. Let's talk about the end result first. Let's talk about why we're doing what we do. Because it brings more power behind and into what we want when we talk about it as first as if we have it, but also saying it, declaring it, stating it. You know, it's so important. So let's say that at the end of this womb plan, at the end of this plan, that you would like to have your divine mate. You would like to have your brand new apartment. You would like to move from maybe somebody that you're living with. Maybe it's a partner. Maybe it's a roommate. Maybe it's your parents. You would like to make more money in your business. You would like to start your business. You would like to heal all of those womb issues, the fibroid tumors, endometriosis, the yeast infections, the cysts, whatever, the heavy discharge, the heavy periods, whatever, the acne on your face. You like to shed some pounds on your body. You like to put on weight. You like to become a raw foodist at the end. Maybe a vegan, maybe a vegetarian. Whatever it is, you want to know that this is the reward. This is why you're doing this. So it's not just, I want to heal my womb, right? Like most of us say, I want to heal my womb. Okay, so why? What do you want? What better life do you think you're going to have? So yes, I know they say it's the journey, and I say it all the time as well, and not the destination, but just for a moment, because we're going to keep getting into this, for a moment I want it to be the destination, okay? So we got that. So you're going to decide on what is the result, what is the reward. Now it's better, it's even more than a result. What is the reward that you will receive after completing your womb plan, okay? Now the other thing is, you want to talk about, there's no time limit on the womb plan. You cannot put a 6 months, a 12 months, a 2 year, a 4 year. Let me just tell you why with the womb. The womb work is a little deeper. It's not like planning to go to college and you know that there is a 4-year plan and you have a certain amount of units or credits that you have to take and a certain amount of classes really that you have to take in order to get these, let's say 100 credits. So it's really, if you take the 4 classes or 5 classes each semester, you pass them all, and in 4 years you'll have your degree, right? And even that doesn't always work out perfectly. It's something you missed. Something happened. You missed days. They forgot. They added a class. They didn't have a class you didn't need. So think about that. Even in college, it's sometimes hard to get out in 4 years, right? Or a certification program. But they're usually very close if you follow the plan. You have a time limit and you can make it, right? See, the womb's not like that. See, the womb's going to throw monkey wrenches in your program because the womb is being awakened. So once you start to create this womb plan, we're going to get on what that really entails, but once you start to create this womb plan, what you're really doing is you're opening up the womb. You're bringing her life, air, water, fire, earth, spirit. So when you're bringing her something, just like if you was to take something new, you're going to have a reaction to that, even if that new thing is good. So if you were to start, you were on a meat and potato diet, a standard American diet even, a SAD diet, right? And you decided to go vegan or vegetarian. And even though now you're eliminating all the foods that are not good, but more importantly, you're putting in all these foods that are really good, what happens? You feel, at first you feel high, you feel great, maybe 2 or 3 days. After that, you feel horrible, start breaking out, you start discharging, you start vomiting, your stomach hurts, you just feel a mess, you feel more tired, lethargic. And so you know that it's because you're introducing this new thing, but more than that, you're releasing the old, the stagnant, the laid back. That's just the word that it came to me, And so, of course, so you could have said, I'm going this vegetarian thing, and I'm going to be healthier. I see people that's vegetarian, they look so good. I'm going to look like that too. It's going to be so great. I'm going to feel better every day. And then guess what? You don't feel better every day. You might feel better the first 3 days, and after that, maybe for a week or 2, you feel really bad. But so you can't put a time limit on how long it's going to take for you to feel better. But you have to know that you're going to feel better than you've ever felt before. Not better than the sick feeling you have at that moment, better than you've ever felt in your whole life. So part of this journey is being very strong, asking questions, not giving up. Don't get scared when you start to see the healing crisis come from you putting in and activating your womb plan. It's very important that you understand that sometimes in healing and even in life and other aspects of it, things get worse before they get better. I know for a fact, when I did the 60-day, I'm eating now, by the way. I'm eating my raw foods, and it's been great. Actually, I feel like I'm eating sometimes too much because my body's not used to it. But you should have heard the people, you're too skinny, you look sickly, you should eat again. They didn't understand how the energy I felt. Like I realized something. I'm eating now, and I was doing liquids for 60 days, and now I'm eating solid foods again, all raw, both times raw. I would rather be fasting than eating anytime. That's just the energy, the feeling. I love fasting. But I understood that there's a time to say, that's enough. And I love the way I was looking. I love my slim body. I plan on keeping the slender body because it's important to me. But I also understand that there's a beauty and a pleasure and a spirituality in eating raw and vibrant and energetic and high vibrational foods. I get that too. So, but you're going to hear people tell you you're getting too skinny, or why you take so much time, taking all that salt. That salt's not good for you. You're taking a salt bath, it's not good for you. You're putting essential oils in your bath, it causes infections. Or oils, somebody asked that in the group. I heard that if you put oils in your bath, it causes yeast infections or infections. Absolutely not true, but people will tell you that. Too much salt, you can't do it. But unless you do have high blood pressure or edema, then you don't want to do salt in your baths or in your baths. No, you don't want that. But if you're healthy, fairly healthy, and you don't have those issues, it's perfect for you. So you're going to hear people tell you, when you start to display those healing crises, like the cold, they're going to say, go to the doctor, you're sick, take this over-the-counter medicine, all these things. I mean, your hair may even start to fall out, just all these things, but you have to stay on track. Trust me, I know. Why am I telling you about the healing crisis? First, I started off with, you have this end result, have your reward, which was great. Then I said, but you're going to go through something, and now you're going to have this healing crisis. So now it's time to talk about the womb plan. So your womb plan is really just that. It is a plan that you are going to create for your womb. So it will include any of these things and more or less, okay? You want to have a certain amount of times a week that you take a sea salt bath. So I took mine yesterday and today. I realized that if I don't take at least 3 sea salt baths a week, I am out of balance. And you want it to be a plan. See, something about consistency, it actually brings results. So if you could do the plan, you say, for instance, this is just an example, you pick out your own days. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to take my baths no matter what. See, now that's the other thing about the womb plan. So many things are going to come in that's going to say, well, you know what, this thing came up. I can, instead of taking my bath Wednesday, I'll take it Thursday. And guess what? You won't take it Thursday. Or, something will try to get in the way of that plan to make sure that you don't do it. And if you are not adamant about the plan of sticking to it, you will fall off of it and you will not yield the results. You will not feel the results. You will not get what you want. So you want to have a certain amount of days that you find your cups. For some people it may be 2. For some people it may be 1. It's just that simple. They don't have the time but one day. Then you also want to eat your healthy foods. So for me, I realized something about being a raw foodist. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to be healthy. I know it's so hard. I want to say, flowery, wonderful things about being raw. And I want to say flower and wonderful things about being healthy. But it actually takes a tremendous amount of commitment. I spend at least 2 hours a day, and you don't have to spend that much, preparing my raw foods. Or at least, let me say this, 2 hours every other day preparing my raw foods, because I want my food to be as fresh as possible. So if I'm going to use 2 hours to prepare my soups, maybe my salads, my collard green wraps, my sauces that I put, my raw sauces I put on it, my smoothies, my opening up my coconut and my coconut water. If I'm going to take 2 hours, I want that to be on Monday, and I'll be able to eat that Monday and that Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm doing it again, and I'll be able to eat that Wednesday and that Thursday. Friday, I'm doing it again. Or Thursday, rather, I'm doing it again. And I'll be able to eat that Friday and that Saturday. Saturday, I'm doing it. When I say doing it again, I'm preparing my foods again. What is your womb plan, food plan, preparation plan? What is your food preparation plan? And that has to include the day that you go to the supermarket. That has to include the day that if you have to soak nuts, then that day that you're soaking nuts has to be in that plan. If you want to know more and recipes about raw foods, you can get my ebook, A Raw Life, My Journey from Cook to Raw Foods. It is on my website. I think it's $14.95, and it's on the website. Or you can go to your local library and get you some raw books for absolutely free, because I'm really suggesting raw. You know, the next intensive is the Raw Food Intensive, my most popular intensive to date, and I want to help you prepare yourself. But if you can't do raw, then for you, if you're a meat eater, then you want to have 3 meals a week of having that vegan vegetarian. Now remember when we first had week 1 and we talked about the detox, you never was off the detox. You never got off the detox. Detox is not just the food, it's everything. That's why we're detoxing relationships. We're detoxing attitudes. We're detoxing words. We're detoxing belief systems. So all of this, the food is still a part of it. But I noticed that you will not stay on your food regimen, your food plan, if you don't have a plan and if you don't have consistency. Consistency is everything. You must understand it. You must know it. So what are your days that you're going to prepare your healthy meals? If it's not raw, what are the days you're going to prepare your vegan meals? What are the days you're going to go get the grocery shopping for that food? You have to write. And let me say this. This is a plan that you're going to write down. It's going to look like, it could be in the form of a calendar. You can actually print out a calendar and put the days of the week that you're going to take your baths and the times, the hours. The days of the week you're going to shop for your food. The days of the week you're going to prepare your food. You can use a calendar. That'd be perfect. You can write it out in a way that you like to look at, but you have to be putting pen to paper on this one because this is a womb plan. So we have our baths, we have our food, our prep, our shopping, all those things that we need. Now also, you have to have a day that you totally pamper yourself. But for women, I'm going to go a little further. Beautify. So you gotta have a day where you say, I'm going to spend time on my hair. I'm going to have a day where I deep condition, and I gave you all the recipe for my deep conditioner. I'll make sure I'll put it up on a group page. I'm going to wash. I'm going to deep condition my hair. Maybe I'll do a hot oil treatment. Maybe I'll do a clay mask on my hair. Maybe I'll do an ACV rinse, an apple cider vinegar rinse. But I'm going to spend a whole day doing my hair, being in my hair, loving my hair, and whether you after that you put it in a braids or protective style and keep it going. If you got locks, then you're doing all that with your locks. But you have to do this grooming thing. It is a plan. And let me explain to you, if we're talking about sacred relationships, then the most powerful relationship is the one with yourself. See, we don't really have to deal with you and your other relationships, although we are. We don't have to, because if you fix the one with yourself, the rest of them are automatically fixed. You already did the releasing with the womb letters, with the forgiveness letters, the releasing letters. You're already releasing through your food, through the detox and other ways. So now this week 3, we're kind of combining all that. But that pampering of yourself. I say for women, it's our crown, and glory is our hair. And I know it's like Nubia is really on the hair, because you're grooming yourself. You're loving yourself in your baths. You're loving your body when you put the right foods in it. But sometimes this part of us gets neglected, even if your womb plan is to cover your head once a week. There's something about covering your hair or head that people respond to in a positive way. It brings out your spirituality, your connection to the divine, your belief in the sacredness of you, the preciousness of you. The divine nature, goddess feminine nature, again, of you. It is something about it. It's saying that I'm pulling my energy in. I'm going within. I'm loving myself. I cannot be bothered. I love you, but I see you when I see you. I can't. And it keeps those negative people, those naysayers, those people that are not vibrating at your frequency, it keeps them away from you. It keeps that energy away, so you're able to prevail on this womb plan. So if it's not taking care of grooming, maybe once a week you wrap your hair, okay? So we got the baths, we got the food, we got the grooming, the special days just for your hair. And another thing is, I want you to, same thing I said, make something, create something. When you take nothing, or no, you take many different things, and you put them together and you create something beautiful, it's really a metaphor of this life, of this whole womb intensive, that you're taking things and seeing that you can make something beautiful. You may be a person that thinks you mess up all your relationships. You may be a person that thinks you push people away. You may be a person that thinks that you can't stay on track, that you're not focused enough, that you always procrastinate, that you start something and can't finish it. See, all these things are negatively playing on your psyche, which is negatively playing on your womb. So I want you to create something. It could be once a month. Once a month you create, you go to YouTube or you Google how to make a facial clay, a clay mask, how to make black soap and put essentials oil in it, how to make your own shea butter, how to make your own deep conditioner, how to make your own body wash, do it. It's going to take you to another level. It's going to get you in touch with your sensuality, your sexuality, and your adornment. You're going to love yourself in such a way, and who knows, you may start a business out of it. And it's not just create beauty products. You could create your own somebody else's sanitary napkins, your own pads for your cycle. You can create greeting cards. You can create all kinds of things. Like, it's endless amount of things that you can create. So it's an endless amount of things, and you decide what it is, but it has to be part of the womb plan. You may actually get a beautiful shawl, like I should be wearing right now because it's cold, and put beads and decorations on your shawl. Be as creative. It could be clothing, it could be a book, it could be, but it's something. I just keep thinking beauty products, but something where you can use that's natural, that's from nature, and that you can create something with. The other thing is you have to, this is really the last thing. You don't want to do too many, and I want you to add, because you're going to add. The other thing is, and then I want to talk about some other stuff, is create a time where you can write in your journal. You have to, whether it's once a week, once a day, 3 or 4 times a week, whatever that is for you. When you write something down, it makes it real. So let it be written, so let it be done. It makes it more real. So you want to make a day where you can write these things down. Now let me tell you, if you did all of those things, you ain't thinking about the man that didn't call. You ain't thinking about the person that hurt you. You ain't thinking about the feelings you had in your past, because you're continually creating something good, which you're continually creating something to be proud of, which you're continually creating courage within yourself to go further, to do more. You're continually having this sacred relationship with yourself and your womb. When you do your womb work and you're writing in your journal, you want to have conversations with your womb. That's what the journal is for. So that's the plan. Now, can the plan be different from all these things? Yes. Can you add things to the plan? Yes. Can you take things away from the plan? Yes. I'm giving you an example. I'm starting you off. But see, let me tell you, there's some people that can't do all of this. There might not be that much time in the day. And you'll start pressuring yourself. And you'll make yourself wrong because you couldn't do it all. So no, it's not about doing all of it. It's about choosing 1 or 2 that works for you. For those that go deeper or have more time, choose them all. And the rain is coming. This is beautiful. The rain is coming. So I'm loving it. But I want to get on. So you can modify it. You can change it. You can add. You can subtract. You can do it. Now, there was a question a sister had, and I really appreciated this question. And it was when we had our last conversation, the group conference call. Sister, obviously you missed the call and you were disappointed. But the good part is, you said that I was speaking on something, and that somebody asked me a question, and I wasn't able to continue my answer or my conversation. So let me do that right now. So the thing was, I was talking about this idea of, let me just go really get into it, of numerology reading. And see, my numerology readings, which I absolutely love, are just amazing. And why are my numerology readings so amazing? Because they don't just tell you your life path, which is your most significant number in your chart, but they also tell you your soul path, your personality, and your destiny. And so I was talking about your personality, and how sometimes you're the one that always tell jokes, but you work in an office where everybody is stiff and their butt's all tight and they're very conservative. And so you seem like when you say something, it's the wrong thing. It's all awkward. It's inappropriate. Nobody gets it. And you start thinking, and they start even maybe commenting, you need to change. Your jokes are inappropriate. What you said, and you didn't mean to hurt anybody. It's not that you're inappropriate. It's that you're not in the circle that can embrace and understand and really be a part of who and what you are. You're not with your tribe. So the moment that you understand that your personality is absolutely perfect, you just have to find the perfect people, the perfect lifestyle, the perfect life purpose to make it come alive. that it's not for you to try to be less of that thing that you are, that personality, but you actually want to highlight it and be more of it. And when you do this numerology reading, when you understand that this is your personality, like bells go off and you immediately go, oh my God, I need to be doing what I'm really supposed to be doing. And so I am running a special. It's a 2-for-1. It's one numerology reading for an hour and one one-on-one consultation for an hour. They can, of course, they're separate. You can do one time and one 3 months from now, whatever you want. But it's $100 for the two. Now, normally my one-on-one consultations are $150. Normally my numerology readings is $100. So that's $250. You're saving $150 if you do the combo special, which ends May 31st. This month that we're in goes back to the original price. But I'm saying, so the personality thing is, it's not you. It's nothing wrong with you. If something is wrong is you're not able to be more of this personality. So maybe you work in this stiff job or this stiff conservative place and you are very out there, very, extrovert, very boisterous, and they don't understand it because really you're probably meant to be on stage. Maybe you're meant to be a performing artist. Maybe you're meant to be a writer, a creative person, and you're in a job that's not very creative when in actuality you were born to be creative. I got that so much in my numerology readings. This is the stuff that you learn. You learn about your leadership qualities. What if you seem like a troublemaker? What if your supervisor doesn't know as much as you do? Holla if you hear me, because I know a lot of you experience that. She doesn't know as much as you do, or he doesn't. But yet they're your superior. So you're constantly, saying, well, no, that's not the right way to do it. And no, this is the way to do it. Or you're fixing stuff. But now you're becoming insubordinate, right? You're disrespecting. And you thinking maybe it's me. So nobody likes you because you have the right answers. You have the solution. And they don't, but they don't understand you. So you start feeling bad about yourself. You start thinking you too much. You start thinking you ain't following the rules or being a team player. And in actuality, you're in the wrong position. So it's not their fault. They're in the right position. They wear a lot of stiff shirts. You a creative being. You're supposed to be over here. You're supposed to be on stage. You're supposed to be leading. You're supposed to be the supervisor. You're supposed to run the company. You're supposed to be the boss. What if it's another thing that, you are very good with money, but your whole family spends money. They spend like wild and crazy. They buy things that they don't need, and they always broke, and they come to you and borrow money. Now you start feeling bad because you always have the money, but you have to give it out all the time. You have to be the one. And if you don't, they make you feel bad, like you're cheap, you don't love them. And you're trying to say, am I being selfish? No, you're very good with money. You should probably be a financial planner. You should probably be somebody who goes into economics. But no, you're in the wrong position. So that's what I was saying is, once you understand your personality, once you understand your passions, once you understand your destiny, and of course once you understand your life path, you are on fire. And that's what this hour numerology reading really is to help you know you're perfect. And I also, in the readings, help you get to that place. We devise a plan right then and there of what you are and how you can get there. So you are perfect. Your personality, you came in, it's the stars. It's like I'm a Leo, so there's certain traits and characteristics that I have. Well, it's the same thing with you as your personality. There was something going on in the universe that made you this way. You can't change if you wanted to, and you shouldn't have to. If your personality becomes brass, if your personality becomes hurtful, if your personality becomes mean, it's usually because you're not allowed to be that. Sarcasm to me comes from the inability to express yourself in the way that you want to, because if people don't understand it, so now it comes out ugly or mean or snide. See, all these ways that we turned into is not necessarily what we came to be, what we was intended to be. It wasn't like that. This is your womb. Your womb is opening up. Your womb, you're not going to recognize yourself. If you really opened your womb, you wouldn't even recognize yourself. Maybe that's why you're afraid to open it. You got to be willing to get ugly. You got to be willing to lose weight. You got to be willing to break out. You got to be willing to vomit and throw up. You got to be willing to let people go. You got to be willing to change who you are, who you think you are, who you look like, what you look like, how you sound, the words that you use, the thoughts that you think. We're talking about the womb plan. this is where I'm going from here. I'm not going to be on YouTube for the rest of my life. I'm not going to have the same people watching me over and over again. Where I'm going, what I'm doing, I could see clearly now. The rain is gone. Started raining and it stopped. But in life, there must be some rain. In life, rain must fall. It's all purposeful. It's all purposeful. You are right. Invest in yourself. Love yourself. But more than that, get to know yourself, because you think you know and you don't. I promise you, you don't. Maybe put in your womb plan a talk fast. Maybe try not to talk, or do yourself a favor and don't talk for 30 minutes to an hour a few times a week. I think that would be helpful as well. I know it will. Well, anyway, I love you. We have a lot to do. So I got the Monday Inspirational Upload that's coming. We got another group conference call that's also coming. We got another video, so we got a lot of more stuff. And another worksheet, so we're still not all the way there, but I want people to know that the Raw Food Intensive is going on the site. It should be on today, Friday, as you're viewing this. You can go and purchase it. It's $97. And now that I'm eating raw again, now that I'm eating period again, oh, I learned so much. I know so much. Raw foods is an amazing, amazing thing. Like, y'all, I sit here sometimes and I say, I don't eat any junk food at all. That's deep. I love you all very much. I'm going to get out this sun, cold, rain. It's all the weathers at once. You know, the goddess is alive and magic is afoot. 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 This is Nubia I, the Raw Food Goddess, the Womb Priestess and the Holistic Practitioner of the Blackberry Beauty Holistic Academy. Ancient African healing and wisdom for the modern sister. Peace and blessings.